All right, let's get right to it because a lot of you are already voicing on this. More trouble for New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. So for the first time, we're hearing from one of his former aides, 25-year-old Charlotte Bennett. She accused the governor of trying to sleep with her during a one-on-one meeting that took place in his office last year. She told CBS Evening News anchor Norah O'Donnell all about her experience. Take a listen.
I thought, he's trying to sleep with me. The governor's trying to sleep with me. And I'm deeply uncomfortable, and I have to get out of this room as soon as possible.
And to be clear, what made you think that he was trying to sleep with you?
Without explicitly saying it, he implied to me that I was old enough for him and he was lonely.
Charlotte also talked about an interaction she had with the governor where she says he seemed fixated on her history of being a sexual assault survivor. Take a look.
He asked if I had trouble enjoying being with someone because of my trauma.
This seems highly inappropriate.
Yeah. The governor asked me if I was sensitive to intimacy.
In his office?
Yes. During the workday.
The governor has repeatedly denied the claims, and in a news conference this past Wednesday, he apologized for making anyone feel uncomfortable. When asked, Bennett said she rejected that apology because he was not apologizing for his actions and didn't even use her name. Those were her words. Tori, what did you make of hearing her side of the story?
I, first of all, always want to believe victims, and when they come forward, we should take this seriously. I also want to know that there's levels of scrutiny with sexual harassment. One's a Harvey Weinstein, one's a Matt Lauer of actually touching and groping, and one is a completely inappropriate discussion to have with someone. Highly inappropriate. Do I separate them? Yes. Do I also think there should be consequences? Yes, I do. So if we keep hearing there's smoke, then eventually I need an independent investigation to come through, and if their finding is that he did, you got to go. I can't say because you're a Democrat I want you to stay. That's not fair.
Erica, do you agree with Tori?
Yeah. Just for the record, the way to approach a conversation with a sexual assault survivor about their sexual assault is to never approach a sexual assault survivor about their sexual assault. That is predatory on a completely different level. If this is true, then he has to go. You know, the idea that this happened in June. We're having all these conversations about things that happened 10, 15, 40 years ago. In June? You didn't get the Me Too memo? You didn't get that this isn't an appropriate conversation to have with a colleague?
Erica, it's amazing. And the question is like, we keep asking this question, Erica, like, should he lose his job? Should he lose his job? The question should be, why hasn't he lost his job already? He wasn't ordained to have this job. He rose to power. He had it. He's abused it, and he loses the job. Let's keep it moving. If you don't know at his age that that's inappropriate, okay, that's fine, but you can't work here.
There's consequences.
And there's it's more than it just being inappropriate because of the fact that when you boil someone down, a woman especially, who's used to being objectified because of, you know, societal norms, unfortunately, if you boil her down after all her work, after her degree, after her internships, if you boil her down just to her sexuality, that number, and all us women here on this table know what that feels like. 1,000,000%. That number that it does on your psyche is almost irreversible. It takes a long time to believe in yourself again. So listen, I'm with you, Tori. There has to be an independent investigation. If we find out that her story is true, and I believe her, then there needs to be some stiff consequences. He absolutely should not be governor anymore. We don't need people like that in power.